Let's talk about therapy. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things it may bring. And let's talk about it. Not for real. Let's go talk about it. Come on. Did you guys miss me? Did you miss me? I missed y'all so freaking much, but honestly, your girl had to take a step back, do some R&R, do some self-love, and really just be mindful and protective of my energy. So now that we got that out of the way, and it's not out of the way, your girl's still working through it, but now that I am in a much better place, I am here, I can bring the energy, I can bring my love, and I'm ready. So I'm really, really excited about today's video. I've actually tried to record it a few good times, but I was like, let me not just try to jump into it real cute after I haven't been with you guys in such a long time. So I did just want to highlight one. I just want to say thank you for either being a returning subscriber or for being a new watcher. Go ahead and click that subscribe button. Welcome to the squad, honey. And turn on your notification bell so that you guys will be notified when I upload videos, because your girl's about to get on the schedule, but I'm not putting my foot in my mouth, so I'm not telling y'all the schedule just yet. But I did want to take a minute to just highlight some beautiful Black women that I've gotten the opportunity to support. First and foremost, y'all, I wanted some tea today. So this lovely cup, I really drink it. So as you see, my lipstick was made by my sister, Divine Creations. So creativity over fear, baby. That's definitely where I've been. So I'm letting my creativity juices flow. My creative juices flow. That's good, baby. Oh, and you guys, y'all see these popping ass earrings? These are from my homegirl Chandrika's company, earrings and things. So y'all gotta check her out. She really got some hot stuff. And then this beautiful bloodstone medallion I purchased when I was in Atlanta. Her name is Satisse. Yes, Satisse, a beautiful goddess I met out there on my vacation. Oh, you guys, my birthday was so lit. But before I get too far into that, I did also want to say I already prayed over my energy, but let's spray some Bitch Be Gone, no bad energy. I got this from Free the Truth. And this is her Bitch Be Gone spray. When you need to just clean the space, cleanse the energy, get this. And it smells amazing, y'all. It smells amazing. So now that we got that long ass intro out of the way, let's get into some therapy, y'all. Now, I know in our community, there is such a stigma about therapy, right? And when we base it off movies, because honestly, we really never, well, me and myself personally, and all the other Black people that I talk to, we never really seen, somebody in our family going to therapy, advocating for therapy, or anything like that. And so we saw it on the movies, right? And then what does it look like on the movies? You're laying on the couch, some old white man is talking to you about your problems. Why do you feel this way? And why do you feel that way? And do you think it has something to do with this? And it's just like, bruh. Therapy's really not like that. Not my experience, at least. And I'm not just coming on here saying, okay, I've been to one therapist. No, y'all, it is not always so cut and dry. A lot of the times we think, I'll go see a therapist, find them, it's gonna be the one. And I get to just unpack all this beautiful stuff with them and this ugly stuff with them too. And I get to heal and be better. But honestly, finding the right therapist is kind of like fucking dating, you guys. Like, you have to take your time. You gotta feel it out. You gotta see what you want in a therapist. And first and foremost, you have to be honest about where you at, who you are, and your intentions with therapy. Like, if you're going in there just to please someone else, or maybe your family members making you go, or you're in a relationship, your girlfriend or boyfriend gonna break up with you if you don't go to therapy, you're not really doing it for you. You know what I mean? So in that regard, are you really gonna be honest and forthright and really transparent about where you are and what you're trying to accomplish? Because therapy is hard work, you guys. It really is, but it's so worth it. So it's like dating, and you have to figure it out. So myself, I was always like, I don't really need to go to therapy. Like, I'm straight, I'm good, I'm okay. But I noticed when I was like, when I hit 25 is when I really was like, ooh, like, there's something deep within me that is just like, we can't stay here anymore. Something's going wrong. It doesn't feel right. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not fulfilled. I need more out of life. And so that happened at 25. It took a good 2 years before I felt like everything just crashed in on me. And I got a recommendation from one of my sisters to go see their therapist. And it was a really good thing that I did. Dr. Rivers was her name. And she was an older white lady. And so I was uncomfortable, you guys. This is my first therapy experience. Was this my first therapy experience? I'm thinking like ever. I do believe that I can remember that this was my first therapy experience. And so I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I felt very comfortable with her. I was very talkative. I was very sharing emotions, going back. And I had a few sessions with her, and she's actually the therapist that was like, you know what? It's a good thing that you came now because you're 27 and there's this thing called the 27 Club. And I'm like, well, what's that? You know? And basically she was like, a lot of celebrities commit suicide at 27. You know, life, it gets overwhelming. They can't figure it out and they're unhappy. So they end up killing themselves. And she was like, so I'm happy that you came to see me. And I'm like, damn, like, yes, me too. Not trying to take myself out. And to anybody who feels that way, like if you're 27, 26, you know, creeping up on that number and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling like, oh my God, like, please don't cut out this video. Get help, okay? Because you're not alone. It's a whole thing. So anyway, so she talked to me about that and was just telling me like, you know, how important it is, and kind of just after a few sessions, you know, thinking, you know, about my mental state and where I was, and just telling me like, oh, you know, it sounds like you may be bipolar. Oh, it sounds like you suffer from PTSD that shows up as anxiety. And I'm like, from what though? Like, cause you know, in my mind, I was like, what have I been through that's been so traumatic, right? Like, I grew up in a family of love. Yes, a single family home. My dad wasn't around, but like, that's a lot of people's story. But what I've been realizing through my therapy is that I had a mother who was very much a strong, independent Black woman. So when things, trauma, pain, hindrances in life, things that can cripple you a little bit happen, it's like, okay, get up, dust yourself off, let's keep it pushing. And so I never allow myself to fully process or feel my emotions. I just want to get through it, get over it, throw myself into work, throw myself into people, distract myself in different kind of ways so that I'm not feeling and I'm able to just get through, right? So I learned is that because I have been conditioned to not feel like my trauma is a big deal or that my emotions need to just get pressed down, I always downplay everything that I've gone through. Like, oh, it's not that bad. So when I found out like, oh, I have PTSD, I was like, what? Like, no, I don't. Like, that's dumb. I've never been to war. Nothing super traumatic has happened to me. But everyone's traumas are different. You know what I'm saying? So what's traumatic to you and happened in your life? And not even just childhood. A lot of people think that mental illness is stuff that happens from your childhood, which I definitely agree. But there is a portion after childhood where things continuously happen to us, whether that's bad, tragic, trauma. Like, there's so many things, breakup, losing loved ones, losing jobs, being humiliated. So many things happen after childhood that can still impact our mental health. So I have been learning through therapy not to suppress or lessen the effect of the things that I've gone through. It had a huge part in it. And instead of making myself feel weak for crying or having an emotion or not being over something yet, like, oh my gosh, you haven't moved on from that? Let's go, let's go. And it's like, you're going to keep coming back to it. If you don't allow yourself the time to sit, feel, heal, and get through it, you are going to keep going through the same situations time and time again until you actually learn the lesson and you allow yourself to heal. So that is what I've been learning. Hey, celebrate them wins, baby. Celebrate them wins. That was the first therapist that I've been through, right? Now, stopped going to her after a couple of years. I was paying for that out of pocket, and I think I just got to a place where I could not afford it anymore. And so at this point, life is just going. I'm in motion. I'm going to work full-time. I'm a supervisor at work, 1111. Hey, a supervisor full-time. My mom's sick. I'm scared, shitless, right? My sister's stressed out. I'm stressed out. The kids are scared. We don't know what's going on. We're finding out things are just progressing with my mother's sickness very, very fast. And then I get a call, asking if I could take my niece, and I'm like, yes. And then I have to go through foster class. I have to move from my apartment. I have to get a bigger place. I have to go get a foster license. So things are just happening in life. And I'm like, damn, I only had like 3 sessions with sis. So as you can imagine, I found out all these things, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm researching on my own, but life, as you can see, is just happening at a very fast pace. So what happens? I'm not doing therapy no more, you know? The process that I started with her, it's done. Like, life is just taking over right now, and I'm over it. So then my niece comes, and it's a wild ride, right? I go from being a single woman to a single mother in the span of a few months. And I am realizing I have no flipping idea what the hell I'm doing. And it's funny because I always used to tell people, like, I'm a 28-year-old child. I'm a teenager. Like, I just work. I have money. But, like, what? Growing up, I'm living life. I'm playing. I'm having fun. I'm doing me. Being a parent don't work like that. It does not work like that whatsoever. I'm stressed out, to say the least. Things are still progressing with my mom. So it starts with lung cancer, then it metastasizes to her brain, and then it moves through, it has lymph nodes, and this is happening, urgent care, ER, like school, like everything, life's happening. So I'm like, oh shit, I need some help. I don't think I need some help. I need to go talk to somebody. And besides that, just feeling overwhelmed within myself, having a child put things into perspective for me. Knowing the backstory of what happened in my baby's life, my family history, I knew that this is not something I can play with. Like, she deserves better. I need to be the one to provide that for her, right? So I'm like, I gotta go get some help. So I went back to therapy, and I found it was an older white guy who I do believe was gay. And I say that because I was able to relate to him in a way that I felt like, oh my gosh, this is going to be cool. I like it. But started doing therapy with him through the Jewish Family Services. Saw a psychiatrist. They got me on some medication. But the medicine I didn't feel like was doing anything. And this therapy I was keeping up, you know, for a few good months. And then things just started kind of spiraling out of control. Unfortunately, my mother passed away, and it was just like, what is life? Like, I don't care, leave me alone. But after I kind of was able to get my head just a little bit above water, I was like, I need to get back into therapy. So I scheduled a meeting back with the same guy, and we had a few sessions, you know, for a few months, but then I started to feel as if he was too comfortable and familiar with me, to the point where you're not being objective, and I feel like you're keying with me. And I don't need you to key with me when I'm bringing up situations about different relationships, my relationship with communication and being transparent and all those things. I don't need to feel like I got a homeboy or my gay friend who we gonna sit down every week and we just key. I need help. I need homework. I need resources. I need all of that. So I dumped him, you know, like, not gonna do it. So at this point, I'm in survival mode. I'm trying to, everything just shifted in my life. As far as after my mom passed away, moving from one side of town, getting another job, it was just one thing after the next. And so it's like, and then on top of that, not only that same year my mom passing away, but one of my brothers, like, Truck, rest in peace, mommy, rest in peace. He passed away 4 months before my mom did. Life was going crazy. And mind you, I knew that man since I was 9 years old. And we grew up together, elementary, middle school, freaking high school. We didn't go to the same high school, but we were in each other's lives like every day, all summer. Like, my brother. So I'm like, is there anything else that could happen? Never, ever ask God, the universe, never put that energy out there into the world like, oh, what else can happen? A lot. A lot more shit can happen, okay? So if you guys have listened to some of my other podcast episodes or seen some of my other videos, you know in the time frame that I'm talking about, a lot of crazy stuff has happened. If you haven't, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't even know how to put that little thing up in the box right there. But go check out my podcast, Stay Regal Radio, wherever you listen to podcasts, and you will hear like a timeline of the things that I was going through. So needless to say, cut to 2020, right? You guys all know what we went through in 2020 in the Black community and the whole entire world with this pandemic. It was heavy, it was hectic, and that was the first time that since my mom had passed, that I really had my feet on solid, comfortable ground. You feel me? Where I was like, okay, I'm doing good, life is good, I'm thriving, it's great. And then it was like, oh, grief, you're still grieving. You just been busy working and trying to get to a place to where you can that you haven't really realized that, like, girl, you are not okay. You are not okay. And not only was I not okay, I was in a brand new relationship as well, which was bringing up a lot of issues that I hadn't dealt with from previous relationships. And I was just like, my shit started knocking like, yeah, you ready to deal with this? Because you've been running for a few years now. You ready to sit down and deal with this or what? So I get on therapyforblackgirls.com and I'm emailing these therapists. I'm praying over like, God, please lead me to the right one. I'm emailing people. They don't reach back out to me. I'm calling, leaving voicemails, nothing. And I'm just like, honestly, I'm really discouraged at this point. Like, I need help and no one's here to help. Like, what's up? So I find Kimmy. I was like, okay, you can't give up on yourself just because they're not calling you back. There's a therapist who is going to answer the phone. There's someone who's accepting new patients. You can't give up on yourself. So I would go back on the website, Therapy for Black Girls, and I find Kimmy. And I'm like, yeah, I feel a good vibe from her. So I'm like, cool. Schedule an appointment. I leave her a voicemail. She literally calls me right back. I'm like, hey, sorry, I don't know what's going on. My phone wouldn't let me answer. Listen to your voicemail. I accept your insurance. I'm accepting new clients. I was like, yes. So boom, Kimmy. I love my new therapist, but I really miss Kimmy. Me and Kimmy just vibed. And this was the first time I'd had a Black woman therapist. And instantly, I don't care if people think that I'm being racist or anything. For me, myself, personally, having therapy with a Black woman has been a gift from God. My soulmate, she was like, having therapy with a Black woman is like having therapy with God himself. And I wholeheartedly agree. Just to not have to explain certain things culturally or, you know, talking about, oh, I don't know, I'm waking up spiritually, but what about my religion? And not having to explain African spirituality and all types of things that go on within the community has just been a blessing. And Kimmy was able to help me through so much. So months in, you know, then she's like, hey, so I'm leaving this company. I'm going out on my own. I'm not going to accept your insurance. And I'm just like, boo! What do you mean? Like, we're already connected, sis. What are you talking about? Like, I'm going to follow you wherever you go. Where you go, I'm going. Like, I don't want to do this with another therapist, right? But ultimately, that just wasn't logical for me where I was in. And if y'all in Arizona, y'all know these rent prices is crazy. So I was literally paying house rent on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath apartment. Granted, my stuff was really nice, but it was hella expensive, you know, like, so anyway, back to the story. I was not able to pay out of pocket. So therapy stopped. So I'm like, okay, cool. Then things just got hella rocky in life and I was overwhelmed. I was in a hole, everything that we were working on. And things just went from bad to worse, like really quickly. To a point where I was just like, damn, it's all bad, son. So I was like, you could give up just because you lost this therapist, or again, you can advocate because you can't give up on yourself. So I hit up the back of my insurance card and was like, hey, I just need a resource for behavioral health. What's in my area? I gave them my zip code. They gave me some references and I reached out and I called, right? And so through that process, even that was kind of a struggle, you guys. I called on April 4th of 2020. Told the guy what was going on with me, how I was suicidal, not planning anything, but the thought of like, damn, shit kind of rough right now. If I could just go to sleep and not really wake up tomorrow, cool fucking beans. You know what I mean? Like, not like, damn, I want to go kill myself. So that's what that was. And then this man, it was the worst intake appointment that I've ever had. He was working from home. I could hear his wife in the background talking. The phone cut off, called back. She in the background like, what the hell? He ruffling through papers. I didn't feel heard. He's mixing up what I'm talking about, confusing one person with another person. And I'm just like, are you listening? And he was like, oh, well, yeah, it's just that you kind of answer the questions. And I was just like, why am I telling this man anything? Like, clearly, you're not listening. You're not my therapist anyway. Let me just ask for what I need and thank you. So, mind you, this is on April 6th. I told him I was suicidal, all that. I told him at the end of the intake that, hey, I would like to have an African-American woman as my therapist. And he was like, oh, okay, yeah. Not a problem. He was like, we can get you with someone. And then he was like, I'm going to call you back tomorrow. I don't see any availability right now. I'll call you or text you tomorrow, let you know when and who you're going to be with. And I'm like, awesome, great. The next day goes by. The day after, I gave him, 48 hours. Hit him up like, hey, just wondering who I'm going to be having therapy with when nothing. So I'm like, okay, time go by and I'm like, damn, checking my email. Did I get an email? Did they say anything? And luckily, I'm the type of person, I could have those thoughts and I know how to pray them away. I know how to get up under some love, if I can't give any to myself right then and there. I've been through some tough things that I thought was going to break me, i.e. losing my mom, and it didn't. So I'm able to, come on, man, we ain't doing that. Talk myself out of it. But what if I hadn't been able to? It's been like 2 weeks at this point, and I'm like, dang, I call up there like, hey, I'm supposed to have an appointment. Man never called me back, never told me anything. Oh, we're sorry, man. I see that you're scheduled here on April 28th at like 4 p.m. or something. I'm like, April 28th? I had my intake on April 6th. April 6th. And I said, ma'am, are you aware that I let my intake counselor know that I was suicidal? So like, what if something would have happened to me? Oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Needless to say, I filed a complaint on his ass because don't be treating people like that. Don't be treating people like that. You never know what somebody's really going through and how hard of a time they may be having it. First of all, if you can't be focused on behavioral health, that's important, bro. Don't be at home. Go get you a little cubicle or something, but like, you need no distractions. But we are human. I know working from home last year was crazy, so I ain't even gonna flex, but damn. So anyway, needless to say, have my therapy appointment. Shawnee is amazing. She's younger than my last black female therapist. And we really connect, we vibe, we're very both straight, no chaser. And she's just like, hey, even if I do something that offends you, let me know. And so we've been working together for a few months now. And it's been awesome, you guys. I literally have been working through so much stuff to even realize like, oh, this is why I don't like my emotion. Like, I think, oh, I'm a very loving and affectionate person. And I am. But these emotions, I am so sensitive and loving that I don't like to show it, and I don't like to be so inviting, like, you know, and letting people into it because one, I've been hurt. And then two, I don't let myself process through the pain. So if I get hurt again, it's some more shit that I just gotta hold on to. And that is not the way to go. And therapy is helping me realize that, nah, baby, feel it. It's okay. Be gentle with yourself. Stop calling yourself weak because you feel things. Stop calling yourself or making yourself feel like you got to get over it, or you should have already been done with these emotions. You should have already processed it. Stop doing that to yourselves. Let yourself heal. It's different for everybody. And you guys, I just really want to urge you guys, you don't have to have gone through the most traumatic things in life to seek therapy. Everyone needs someone to talk to process their emotions and feelings about things, who you don't always want to have to see every other day, who you don't want to have to build a life with. You know what I mean? Our friends are freaking amazing. Hell, my best friend has a master's in freaking psychology. And yes, I ain't gonna lie. She be giving me the best advice. But she doesn't always want to do that. Like, she just wants to be my friend. I don't take my therapist hat off. Like, be my best friend. That's it, my sister. So sometimes I feel like it's so easy for us to put the burden of a therapist on a friend or a family member or a parent, but that's not their responsibility. They're there to love you as a person based on y'all relationship, not on, okay, this is another problem I have to fix for them. Oh, here's another problem I have to fix for them. Because guess what? People get tired of fixing other people's problems when this not their job. They're not getting paid for this. Y'all, it's imperative. And then don't say, well, then I just won't talk to anybody about it, because you're putting that responsibility, not the responsibility, because it is our responsibility to heal. But what you're doing is saying, if you say, well, I'm just not going to talk to anybody about it, you're talking to yourself about it, the negative thoughts that come up, because it's this thing that's here that you're not dealing with. And you have so many voices, the judge, right? The victim that we have within us. They're talking, and all of that is manifesting into your life. We got to get this shit up out of us, y'all. We have to get it up out of us. So that is why I'm a huge advocate for therapy. You guys, most employers have free resources where you could have at least 6 sessions for free. For free. They'll pay for it. And then after that, you can figure it out. Is it something that I can afford? Is it something that my insurance covers? Check the back of them insurance cards. And if you out here with Access, y'all, there is no excuse. If you have free medical insurance, get the help that you need. Go see somebody, even if you just went through a breakup. Go see somebody and talk about it, because you don't want your friends in your business, right? Maybe you just don't want to talk to everybody about how you feeling because that nigga dogged you out or that female dogged you out, and you don't want people to feel like, oh, why me? You know, and like, girl, you over there, they dogged you like that and you feeling that way? Yes, because I'm a human being and it hurt. Go to therapy. You know, if you had a major transition in your life and you went from a single parent, I'll take my example, a single woman to a single parent, maybe you should go talk to somebody. That's a huge transition. You know, maybe you just got back from the army and you don't know what's what, you know, go talk to somebody. If you are transsexual and you just had your operation or you're going through the change, go talk to somebody. That's huge. You're changing genders. Like, go talk to somebody. You know what I mean? There's just so many reasons why we should seek out therapy, because we are all going through things. We all kind of have our own little... And I just think it's best for us to talk to somebody about it. I know it's been therapeutic for me, no pun intended, but it's been hella therapeutic, you guys, and I'm learning so much about myself. Not only how to love myself, how to be self-disciplined, how to be self-aware, but it's also boosting my self-esteem, because now where I once used to just call myself names or think negative things about myself for the way I process things, or how the things that I said, the way my personality is this way. But I'm learning that most of this has been developed from protecting myself, right? And making sure I'm safe. So it's not that I'm a bad person, but it's that I'm just trying to be safe so I don't feel this pain anymore. And I think so many times we're so hard on ourselves about the way we do things. And there's a reason behind everything, right? So I urge you guys to seek out therapy. Stop using your friends. You know, stop using your girl or your man. Let them just love you. Let them love you. And of course, be there. But let them love you in a way where they're not obligated to sort out all of your problems. The journey to therapy and healing into wellness, it's not a straight line. As y'all see, that was 4 therapists in like maybe 3.5, 4 years. And a lot of crazy shit in between. But what this process has taught me is, one, I'm so proud that I never gave up on myself, because the woman I was, or the little girl that I was when I started this journey to try to get help and figure out what's going on with me, and who I am before you today in this camera, 2 totally different peoples in such a short amount of time. And it's really because of me showing up for myself, advocating and never giving up on what I knew I needed, the help that I needed, and also asking for what the hell I want. Throat chakra hella activated, y'all. I spoke up. I experienced other people before, and now I need something that I feel that I can connect to, that I can relate to. And it's been a blessing. So you guys, don't give up on yourselves. If you feel like you need therapy, definitely go get it. And if you feel like therapy is just a little too invasive for you right now and that you can't do it, maybe think about getting a life coach, or maybe think about getting a mentor for something, but somebody that can help you see what you want to do, the things that are in your way, and hold you accountable for getting over that. And I think you'll be really proud of yourself, one, because when you see that growth and things that you've never given yourself, when you give those to yourself freely, you're going to be like, damn, I did do that. And these are the goals I set, and look at me accomplishing and crushing those goals. And you start seeing the change in every aspect of your life. It is a beautiful feeling. It is a beautiful feeling, you guys. So I definitely want everybody to experience that, but I know that it happens on your own time. So don't let anybody rush you into your process. We all do it differently. But I will say this, time waits for no one. And if you know that you've been called to go get some help, go do it, y'all. Such a powerful and brand new you is waiting on the outside of that. So you guys, let me know in the comment section below. Are you guys in therapy? Is it something that you consider it? If y'all feel led to, y'all know me, I'm very forthcoming with my stuff. So some people may not feel like it, but y'all, there's no taboo in getting help. So let's break the stigma. Let's break that, oh, therapy, that means I'm crazy. No, it means you're a smart motherfucker. That's what that means. So in the comment section below, you guys, let me know. Are you in therapy? Is this something that you wanted to get into? Are you thinking maybe life coaching is something that's better for you? Let's chop it up in the comments. If you need some help or some resources getting into therapy or trying to kind of maneuver through, I am no expert, but I can definitely, you know, like I said, give my story and give you the resources that I do know. So until next time, y'all, it's been beautiful getting back on this camera with y'all. But remember to stay true. Do you fuck self-doubt, y'all. Peace and blessings. Peace.